My love of space and science fiction all started with my dad. Whether it was rushing home from church on a weeknight to go watch Star Trek The Next Generation, if it was reading as Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, Douglas Adams, or other science fiction writers, to building and launching model rockets. Um, they were a major aspect of my youth. My dad passed away a couple years ago, and as I reflect back on my time with him, I found peace and closure in the things he introduced to me as a kid. You can see his impact in my last piece, the Star Trek LCARS edgelit sign, and even my latest piece, the NASA Space Shuttle Infinity Mirror. Now, normally my videos are how-to or on tips. In this one, I want to dedicate to my dad and go over a memory I have with him. And I also want to say a thank you to the 500 plus subscribers to this channel. So if you can bear with me as I give you a little insight to this piece and why I made it as opposed to how I made it, we'll get into the details of the giveaway later on in this video. Many of you have maybe used something my dad worked on, and that is a graphing calculator made by Texas Instruments. He was part of the software team that wrote the code for the graphing calculators. During the early part of my childhood, my dad was working on the graphing calculators during the day and going back to school for his master's at night. During what little of his downtime between work, school, and family he had, he would build model rockets. I can still remember sitting in the kitchen working on rockets. He would let us help on them, but there was one that was all him, and that was the Mars lander. It's a fictional spacecraft, but one could see it as being something that could exist, especially a child. This functioning model rocket even had spring-loaded landing feet and was a level 4 build. Now, it took my dad months to build this, but he did finish it, and we did get to launch it a couple times. Its last flight was when a poorly packed parachute only half deployed, and the lander had a hard landing. Not going to name any names of said parachute packer, but I can still remember how tense the atmosphere was as we trekked out to recover the lander. My dad not saying anything, just a stern and concerned look on his face. When we did get to it, and my dad looked it over, he gave one of his little chuckles and a smile and said, "Well, the legs work, won't anymore." And we went back to launching rockets. I remember thinking I messed up, but my dad looked at it as it worked. Technically, we could have launched it again, but due to one of the legs cracking on the landing, it became something of a display of his achievement in building a level 4 rocket. While my dad used to have it up, on display at his house in his office, now it sits in display at my house. And I was staring at it one day, remembering that time, and it got me wanting to make something to honor that time in my life. So I chose the NASA Space Shuttle, taking off as the image for my infinity mirror. Now, it may be a little bit too busy of a design for infinity mirror, but I am happy with the final product, and I know my dad would have loved it. And one day, I hope my daughters will want it as a reminder of me. Now, just a quick overview of this build. There are 3 channels. Back one is an acrylic mirror. The middle one is an acrylic edge lit piece. And the front channel is an acrylic 2-way mirror. I designed everything in Illustrator and cut it all out on my long mill. And I did do the miter mitered edges with my miter saw. I'm going to say it's a good first attempt, and it taught me some valuable lessons along the way. But I think I have taken up enough of your time reminiscing on my past, so let's go over the details of the giveaway, and make sure you listen all the way through, as you may be able to be entered for a secondary prize. First, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Then I would like for you to leave a comment down below on something you made or someone made for you that holds a special meaning in your life. For those of you who follow me because of CNC, put CNC in your comment, as 3 of you will have a chance to win an Flute Bit in a separate drawing. For the main giveaway, I will be giving away a $50 gift card of your choosing. I will leave the entry time open for 2 weeks from the posting to YouTube. I will put the exact dates down in the description. Even if you're watching this later than the entry dates, we still like to hear about that special something you hold close. If for some reason there is an issue with shipping internationally, we'll work something out. So really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who has watched these videos and interacted with me on this trek. It truly is a humbling and exciting experience to be doing all this. I know my dad would have been proud of everything I've got to accomplish since his passing. So I promise we'll get back to the how-to and tip videos again soon. So until then, thank you again, and until next time, just keep making stuff.